Well, Mertz hurt, but it's not enough. Train does go the way of FaZe. Top fragging, though, from the Orpa, who was absent in that second game yesterday from North, but unable to convert Train all the same. I'm joined by two handsome fellows who are going to hopefully provide some brains to my brawn. I do have Janko Pavlovic and Henry Gray here.
Hello there.
Hiya.
Hi.
So I guess the first port of call for us here, Janko, is when we just go ahead and say, you know, North coming into Train, their hopes were going to be dashed. We knew who they were going up against. A 16-8 scoreline.
It's a bit strange for North, right? Before Cash, Train was their permaban for a while, but ever since they introduced that map into the map pool, it's been very strong for them. They had actually some really good results on Train, but lately, after the most recent roster changes for them, kind of dipped down, but then again, all maps have to an extent, and here it was actually a bit underwhelming. You know, yes, they lost Pistol, but they win a gun round, but in those reset rounds, after you win the first gun round, it's been a bit disappointing how they've set up in those rounds, right? It's a default, just a standard stop, but then FaZe, you know, throws an aggressive move towards them, an aggressive peek from Guardian, some good positioning, and they're just 2 men down in the first 20 seconds of the round.
One thing comes to mind here, and this might be a controversial statement at this point, Alex.
Nothing is controversial coming from you, Henry.
No, it's fine. I can get away with anything.
Yeah, you've got the delivery.
Anything.
Yeah, anything.
You can say anything you want.
Within the limits of reason.
Okay. I feel like it might be time for MSL to call it a day and potentially step back from this roster. They're not tactically deep anymore. They're not renowned. They've kind of tried to go for a looser play style since they brought Mertz in. They tried to say, well, we're not going to be such execution-based anymore. That's what made this team so good in the first place. They had great tactics, great synergy. When Cajun being there, sure, he wasn't the greatest player, but he understood the machine and how it operated. Sure. Now it seems much looser, sure. They still have a few set pieces, but you've got MSL dropping 5 kills in that particular game. The tactics aren't really there. They're not a tactical team anymore, so what is he really bringing to the table? I think he'd be a good addition to the coach of this team. He understands these players, but I think they need to maybe bring in more firepower. He's consistently posting these sort of numbers, and maybe while you're at it, you consider getting AZ out of the operation as well, because this doesn't feel like it has much prospect right now. Your top player is Mertz from the academy team. He does very good on Train usually, but it just feels like this particular iteration of North, I think it's over, in my opinion. I feel like they're not going to recover from this.
But, I mean, that is an interesting point. I mean, under the hood of all of that, you can hear that...
A bonnet for those in the Europe.
You can hear that they were tactical, and that was always something we talk about on the death fight.
They were extremely tactical.
We talk about how good their executes were and how their victory would come from a different avenue as opposed to just body bagging, and well, this is what we've got now.
Not just tactical in terms of, you know, they had a lot of set executes, but also very methodical in a sense that they had good discipline. Their defaults were very strong. You know, they wouldn't get picked apart as much. They had a good plan in general and also in specific rounds. Okay, some teams, they have a good default, they take map control, and then they fall apart. They're not sure how they actually need to end the rounds. And North was good at that as well. You remember, you know, that's some time now, year and a half. Their Cobblestone, we regarded them as one of the best teams, you know, even before they became North, Mirage as well. Very strong map for them, and now none of that is really in the equation for North. So I think it's I didn't expect that from Hank, I have to be honest. You know, haven't given it some thought myself about whether MSL is supposed to be replaced, but you know, it's definitely a thought, seeing as how Denmark is filled with talent individually, but also in terms of in-game leaders. There's a lot of in-game leaders out there. I wonder how someone like Hunden, you know, who's criticized often for his individual performance, but a lot of these young star players have come through his teams at some point in time. So if you put a guy like that with actual tools, then no one is going to take your players away from you after 2 months. Could he do better?
I think a player like him made more sense 2 years ago when the game was still evolving. We've come to a head now where these younger players are actually as experienced as him sometimes. Sure. Like, he's not really bringing this wealth and fountain of knowledge, you know. It's not like he's going to be teaching players how to play anymore. The game's been out for like 6 years now, you know. Like, people have got to that level. They don't need someone to teach them how to play CS anymore like it used to be 3-4 years ago, right? That's when him made a lot of sense. He had a lot of experience from Source, brought that to CSGO and built this team and this machine that North is so good for. Now we don't have that. For me, it doesn't really bring a lot to the table in terms of him having these such low numbers consistently now. 5 for 21. That's going to be one of the worst performances in Pro League so far in terms of the whole series, with a deep map as well. It's just not good enough at this point.
It hasn't been a good map. Perhaps he can bounce back on Overpass. Not forgetting the game we casted, he was actually doing all right. We made jokes about changing his sense and stuff, but yeah, definitely someone we'll be keeping our eyes on as we jump into this one. Talking about Overpass, albeit briefly, just waiting on one player to join the server, Janko. We did get to see it yesterday. You got to see North beating G2 on it yesterday, and I guess our biggest takeaway from that was, admittedly, we didn't get to see them at full force. What trends did we identify, though? They did like throwing their bodies at B.
Yeah, I mean, it was a difficult one to gauge because of the stand-in situation, right? So you weren't sure if the calls were, okay, this is very simple and he doesn't need to do much in this particular execute, so let's just go for it and try to abuse them in that sense. It's going to be interesting to see how they play now with their full squad, but that was mostly G2 dropping the ball a little bit on that T side. You know, for North it's easier with a stand-in to play from that counter-terrorist side against a team like FaZe, though, who has more skill, more firepower in their lineup. That's going to be a interesting map for them, in a sense that they were obviously notoriously strong with the way how their CT sides were, you know, Rain in bathrooms, Nico and all of on B. Now Exist is going to be there with Nico, so a bit more work to be done on the B-bomb side.
Overpass, I mean, it's always a bit clinic when you FaZe doing that one.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see what Exist can do on this particular map. Like we saw them post, not abysmal numbers, but very quiet in terms of what Olaf would bring to the table there. But it seems like the team's operating well. That was a good performance there from FaZe overall.
Which is so weird considering the grand final in Katowice, them dropping to Fnatic.
That's true.
16-7 or 16-9, you know, falling apart in the second half on the CT side. After Guardian had that ridiculous 1v5, right? You know, that's where you expect, okay, now they're just going to run away with this game and the final, and Fnatic is going to tilt and fall apart, but that didn't happen. That was probably the one-off loss for FaZe on the map, barring the losses to SK. Obviously, there's a lot more going on there. So, besides a few anomalies, I think it's safe to say FaZe have been mostly dominant on the map.
Now, I have a question that's perhaps a bit of a deviation from the server, just because we don't know when this player is going to join the server. The North project was clearly created to be the best team in Denmark and you know, compete for top 5 in the world.
Compete with Astralis, essentially.
Yes, essentially. They wanted to be doing what Astralis are doing again. Now, my question is, do you think that there's almost no doubt in my mind there's going to be organizational pressure on you to perform? As in, there's going to be some meetings with guys in suits saying we need X and Y. Do you think that's going to put pressure on you?
There's a double-edged sword when you sign massive contracts of huge sponsors like Adidas. You're playing out of the football stadium in the middle of Copenhagen, the biggest team in this city, right? And there's a lot of money being pumped into this project, and you're not winning events in your hometown. Like at a tier 3 event, you're not even getting to the grand final.
Do you think that's going to be weighing on their minds as they continue to try and perform?
I'm not so much to be playing on the... It'd be in the back of your head, but I'd be thinking like maybe this is just run its course at this point. You know, like maybe it's time we need to consider our options elsewhere.
I like the discussion, but I hate the excuse. It's like, okay, if you sign the contract and you want to get paid that much money, well, then you need to deliver. And if your, I mean, excuse or whatever is, you're feeling so much pressure for playing for this org, well, then go do something else, find another job. I mean, then this isn't the life for you. It's like just you need to live up to what your contract is, you know, what you have presented to be and what you strive for. You need to prove that on the server. And, you know, even now they're playing from Kiev because they're attending a GG Bets tournament. You know, it's like, okay, 100K prize pool, whatever, some tier 3 teams are there. What are you doing? Are you just attending tournaments to try and win something, to like get more confidence and boost your team in that sense? So definitely a very, very low situation for North, all things considering, especially when they picked up the line. I was like, oh yeah, this is, you know, a great pickup, up-and-coming team. Yes, they won Epicenter, but that was a one-off, but still you saw the potential, just didn't manifest itself.
It hasn't, and it will get to kind of put North more and more under the microscope, especially now we're going to be jumping into a map Overpass. We've already seen them find success on it just yesterday, and our casters for this one are once again, I haven't got a good name. Have you been brainstorming a good name?
No, I haven't been.
Harry, Chad, Cherry, had.
Nah, you can't do anything good with it, can you?
It's nothing good.
It's pretty weak.
Harry, help me out. Come on, you've got some good names in there.
Could be something from the Commonwealth. I don't know.
You both got beards?
Yeah, that's true.
Beard gang?
Mine's pretty awful. Like,
I mean, I'm not one to criticize beards with my attempt here, so I think I'll just love you and leave you.
Got a forest on my face. So
you do. Enjoy.
I just think as long as people keep their heads up, Harry, and stay positive, then North are going to have a really good shot.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? You know, it's all a mindset.
Look, you know MSL's motto, you know, just keep your head up. We'll fix the problems. We'll be better tomorrow. And they could be better right now. We are kicking off the pistol round. Guardian P250. Carrigan smoke and flash it bang in hand. Looking for a play towards Long here. Jumping out quite quickly. Mert's going to spot them up. The star from last map for North. He's going to find the opening kill of the secondary map. But Guardian quickly exchanging. As Chaos and Shoes in the bathrooms. Nico going to pick up that USB. He's going to find one onto Kirby. Now we have a 3-on-3. The bomb isolated here. Carrigan in no man's land. He needs to catch up with his squad if he wants to have any chance in that bomb.
Yeah, now suddenly it's a 2-on-3. Carrigan and Nico left. And they're going to be heading over into bathrooms here.
Doesn't want to make noise picking up the pistol.
That's always a tricky one for Carrigan. Just going to sit on it for the time being.
There we go. Nico cleared enough of the bathrooms. He went, okay, now I can make that sound cue. Picked up the better pistol here, and Nico spots his jumping head over the side boxes. Now they have a little bit of information, but no plan as the smoke and flash are still in the hands of Carrigan here. This could be deployed as a fake. It looks like they want to go all the way back to T-spawn and run around, ring around the rosy here. That's a very sad nursery rhyme.
Is it?
Yeah, pocket full of posy, and then we all fall down. Means they all die. It's because of the plague.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Pretty grim.
Well, you know, aside from the tormented nursery rhymes of everyone's youth,
Cool.
MSL is going to hit the deck, and that's much more interesting to talk about. Through the smoke,
What is
Valde
Nico
could
doing?
deny the bomb plant, but no! Misses the timing, misses everything. Nico's in with a second. Somehow it's all onto AZ. He's able to get one. Okay, now it's just Carrigan left. 1 versus 1 here. AZ going to back away for the reload. Now starts to tiptoe back into this site, and he can't spend too much time tattling around as Carrigan repositioned over here towards the short angle. Has to keep him off the bomb. There's no kit for AZ, but I think there might be one somewhere to pick up. No, he doesn't have access to one, so he taps on the bomb. Now the flash goes high. Carrigan goes peeking into it, but he will get caught off guard. AZ going to stick this. I think there's enough time left.
He should have enough time. Does he have enough time?
No, it's off by a millisecond.
It's heartbreak for AZ. He did so good on that retake. Isolated all the positions, was able to avoid the flash, luckily, and make the kill. A bee's whisker. I'll go with something else, but I'll keep it PC as possible here. FaZe luckily hold on to that round. It got real messy there. They did have the number disadvantage. We're able to get onto the bomb site, get the bomb down, trade out efficiently. Nico almost dropped the ball, and once again, FaZe off to a flyer, off to a big start. Aggressive play by Mertz with the deagle. Over towards the party area. Spots that one member jumping towards playground. And now we have the remainder of the players stacked in the underground with a flash in the hands of AZ. That's going to get deployed, I believe, as playground is, as party is taken. So you can see he's holding this. He's going to throw the flash above underground stairs section, and at that point everyone should pounce and attack and hopefully kill Carrigan. That's the plan anyway, and he's moved out of position. He won't throw the flash, but still descending on his position. He's going to be overwhelmed. He's going to be swarmed, but that's his teammates. They've got the information now. They know where to go. They know where to attack, and they're going to push through very quickly, making sure that these scampering CTs can't get out of town.
The only issue right now is that the bomb is still down. You still have Kirby just sitting over there towards it. Valde's going to be hunting down Guardian, and FaZe have to be very careful in this shot. Now Kirby's been spotted and does get forced off the bomb.
You hate to see it.
Guardian's going to go down. Valde, he will take that all day long. That is, that's like a visible cringe moment as the ammo runs dry.
Someone's looking out for Valde there, aren't they? It's got a Guardian Angel. Oh.
That was nice.
I didn't even mean to do that.
Well, you know, they say the best lines are accidental, Chad.
Everything in life's accidental.
That's true.
It's deep, man. It's deep.
I was a happy accident, allegedly.
Oh, no.
How nice is that?
No. Anyway, that smoke's on an accident. Rain will smoke off bank. Flashes come in. They do want to hit this A bomb site. Both CTs caught on the other side of the map, but they have been able to scavenge the 2 AK-47s. Bomb should go down any second. There it is. And they want to hold on to these weapons. Quite a good pickup, really, if you look at the two teams right now. One has 2 Galils and an AK. The other has 2 AK-47s. So I think North have done better out of this exchange than that of FaZe Clan, as far as firepower is concerned. But it's all about getting to that 16 rounds first, and FaZe are going to put their second up on the board. The question mark does become, with 2 AKs, do you opt for a buy? Do you want to get those UMPs up? Do you maybe want to get to the FAMASs? Do you want to the overpowered CZs with a lot of utility behind it? If you go for an early gun round on North, it means that Mertz won't have the AWP that he cherishes so dearly. It is a good chance and a good opportunity with those 2 saved weapons to get on top of the economy, to get the rounds flowing. Big question marks right now. Could even be worth a pause situation. Looks like they're just going to drop 5-7 over to Mertz. P250s hit the deck. They'll get in the hands of AZ or MSL, I assume. So they're just going to use those AKs to the best of their ability here. And see if they can make anything happen with those two guns. Not going to go for the full investment behind it. Not believing in the heart of the cards. They're opting a lot for this pack play, Harry. Sorry, this is the same themes as last time. Kind of send Carrigan off, and then the other 4 of them, normally, are hanging out together and playing like contact. This is similar themes as to what they're doing here as they were doing on that first map of Train.
Well, yeah, now let's see if that does work out for them. They've already lost Carrigan, but Nico is quick to answer back. They continue pushing in, and Nico in with their second. They haven't fully cleared out short. Now MSL going to come on in at the last second. And Kirby's still there with a rifle. Now this could do damage. They have to be wary. He peeks on out, finds Guardian, and Nico as well. And now it's just Exist. 1 versus 1. And Kirby going to go toe-to-toe with him, but Exist wins out the duel. Kirby goes in with a wide peek with that USP, and he does end up losing it to the new boy on FaZe. Exist wins out an important 1v1 there. Very expensive round nonetheless, though. They're able to do a lot of damage with those saved AK-47s, taking down 4 members of FaZe Clan, meaning coming into this one, you can see Carrigan only has an AK-47 with 2 flashbangs, no smoke, no Molotov to go with it. Everyone else has got everything they need, though. So I think North will consider that one a success. As you did see the shaky aim of Kirby do damage. It's a contact B play here. Lots of utility being thrown over. Carrigan finding the entry, leading by example. Now Valdi left on the side, has to stand tall here. Jumps up on the box, will take one, spams through. Uses the Shroud as cover. But Carrigan too quick, too aggressive, too fast, too sharp. We'll push North down to 2 members. 2-on-4 B-side retake. The teams who can pull this off, normally Brazilian. Kirby will find 1, but it looks like the decision to save has been made. Game leader, the coach, they've made the call. It rings out. It's quite a horrific thing you have to say that early in a round as an in-game leader. Save. It's just so sad. You feel like it's a point of desperation. No, not desperation. Desperation is the wrong word. Maybe disappointment. Heartbreak. The lulls of life.
We're going to a dark place.
Well, I think we can maybe reference having to save 15 seconds into a round with getting your heart broken. They're probably very similar things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. You know, it's something that everyone can relate to on a mutual level, and there's just no coming back from it, really. But
well, that's dark, guys. If you get your heart broken, there is coming back from it.
There is.
Let me tell you.
But for North, they have to just go ahead and take this one on the chin. They have the AWP out for Mertz. He's got himself a smoke as well. He's going to go in with the early peek into mid. He actually did a fantastic spawn to go for this. And well, Rain gonna be the one there to try and answer back. Missed shot second time around, and that's him tagged down low. So there we go. He's been shot out of mid. Now there's Kirby over at long to try testing the waters, but Rain is feeling sharp right now as he is able to polish off Kirby.
Here's a sign. You know when a player's looking crisp. Like you see this with Nico, and you see it with Rain as well. When they make those shots, they don't immediately go for like crouch. Like they don't go into panic mode, you know, with the crouch and then the crab walk with the spray. They're so confident in hitting shots like that that they just 2 bullets dead. Like that's, you know, that's like a laser beam.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're gonna go down as well. And
cosplay.
Not exactly fancying his odds in the 1v4 in 10 HP. Going to try and hold him to the AWP. And if he does, that's pretty good. It means that they get a decent buy up in this next round, and they get the AWP as well for Mertz. He'll take that all day long.
They should hunt him. Oh, the timing.
Oh, Rain spotted him.
Harry, you've been in Copenhagen somewhat. Have you seen much of the town?
I actually have seen like an embarrassingly small amount of the town. But
you were here last season for like a week. Why didn't you go and do things?
Well, I don't know, Chad.
Okay. Well,
I really should have, you know. It's just like, well, last season when we were here,
we had that really nice place.
We did. That was lovely, right? But I was spending so much money just getting to the studio from there. Like I didn't.
No, you were in the taxi with us. What are you talking about?
Actually, yeah.
No, Natu was driving.
Yeah, Natu was driving us. That was good, man. We sat
in the car for 40 minutes every day.
That was great.
The traffic here was ridiculous.
It was a nice place, though.
It was a very nice place. But you haven't seen much. You should go see some things. You should go eat some. There's very nice food here.
You're a big fan of the sandwiches, Chad.
Well, yeah, but the sandwich is like it comes at 9 o'clock, and it's like it's the perfect time for a delicious chicken sandwich. But I'm meaning more things like you should go. There's lots of nice restaurants to go to. There's
I've been really wanting to go to a restaurant here.
Sticks and Sushi. It's a chain, but it's quite nice. Gasoline Burger in the heart of town. I'd recommend that one. Quite a good burger. We went to a nice steak restaurant the other night called, I think it was called Kud.
Well, the issue is like doing the NA stuff is.
I don't want to hear your excuses.
You just become nocturnal, Chad. You know, it's quite.
You could finish the broadcast and go out for a lovely breakfast. There's some really nice cafes.
You know, I'll give that a go. I'll give that a go. Not today. I think I would rather do anything but that today at the end of the 12-hour day. But I'll give it a go next week. Well, we're not here. No, we are.
We're here next week.
Yeah, I'll give it a go next week. There we go. I'll go find a nice place. I'll send you a picture and everything.
I'll check in this time next week.
But you know, let's see, because FaZe they've made up their mind as to where they're going to go to dine. It's this A bomb site, and there is a feast of frags to be found, although not for anyone on FaZe. As they get shut down, it all falls to Nico. He's only got 17 seconds left to try and work with, and AZ is just biding time. So Nico falls back, holds into the AK in the next round, and just like that, North, they found their first round.
Do you know what happened? We spoke about Danish things, and it kind of empowered North to win the round, right?
Should we try that again?
I guess we could.
Just to test the theory. What else is very Danish, Chad?
Talking with a potato in your mouth.
Yeah, I've been trying to teach myself Danish. It hasn't worked. None of it's got in. I can't at all.
I haven't even bothered even a little bit.
Enunciate how they're meant to.
I'm trying to do German.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been trying with German, you know, living out in Germany now. How's that? It's a big change to Australia?
Hold on, if we talk about Germany, is that going to help or hinder? That's a really good Molotov, by the way. You see that one being thrown and it's super early. It means that damage is always going to be taken. Hasn't completely restricted them from getting across to playground, but a little bit of chip damage early, as Jason Moses O'Toole likes to call it. Just quickly, while we're on the Jason Moses O'Toole, do you remember... what's the movie? No, you wouldn't remember it. Never mind. We won't go down that reference. MSL going to open up. Kirby there to chime in. Big kills in the right direction as Exist will find Kirby as the smoke bloomed a little bit too late. Now MSL doing his best Stewie 2K. Smoke criminal impression. Gets caught with the pants down. That's 2 for Exist in the round. Finding some opening kills. Finding some form. Now they're left in a 2-on-3 scenario. But Mert, he's been tagged up. Not really a big factor with that AWP because you take that shot, you miss, you can probably still get away. You're not going to find yourself any positions of obscure jewels, but as you can see, he's on the other side of the map, and the attack will be towards the A bomb site where Valde and AZ reside. Pressure is on Exist in this scenario. Very awkward angle for him to have to clear. Guardian is a little bit more forward. As soon as he gets spotted, they know the bomb's there, and that rotation will come in.
Yeah, Valde just lies in wait. Exist has to check this. He has to go for the right angle, and he will, and he's going to find it. Quick flick round. Suddenly, it's all onto AZ. But Guardian, he hasn't cleared out truck properly, and AZ misses the timing. Guardian does go down, but the bomb is planted and Exist.
Molotov in his hands. This is big.
He has the Molotov, has to try and pull it off in the 1v2, has to ace it as well for the win here for FaZe. This is a trial by fire for Exist. He's going to go ahead and throw the fire in now. That forces them. They're just going to stick it, but forced off the bomb. Ace is going to connect the kill. There's going to be enough time left to get the defuse. Exist comes so incredibly close to pulling that off. 4 massive kills and a big performance from him. And that's something I do always think, you know, Exist, for me, I always enjoy watching him in kind of clutch situations. I think he's very, very good at keeping his cool in them. And he's kind of like the dark horse in that respect. No one really expects much from Exist, and then I find he normally does quite well.
Well, the weird thing is this is the first time we're seeing him out of that NIP environment, right? And I hate to, you know, use like cliches like this or reference other things in life, but you know, like you can be in a relationship and, you know, talk about the 7-year itch and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of the same thing in Counter-Strike. You kind of get lazy. Like, obviously, they tried to reinvent the wheel. They always were bringing in new 5th players and stuff, but he had his roles. He had his positions. He knew how his teammates played. It's very difficult to change the rigidity of that. I hope that's the word. So getting a chance right now to play on a different ground with a different team, you know, we'll get to see a different face of Exist. It'll be the first time we get to see this player maybe not unleashed, but in a different element in, what, 5 years? You know, it's been some time that he's been playing with that NIP roster. Quick, concise round there from North. No dramas.
Yeah, and I'm very happy that we get to see this new side of Exist, because I always enjoyed him back in NIP, and you know, even kind of back, as you said, like you're looking at previous rosters with him on, I always thought he was fantastic. And you know, I mean, even if you kind of think back to his time in NIP, he was very much, you know, like strong-armed into that IGL role. It wasn't that, you know, it wasn't what he was all about to begin with, as most people kind of think. You know, that is the story of Exist. Is that he was always this IGL, but that really is not the case. As you said, he used to be, you know, the big-time fragger.
A lot happens with time, though, Harry. I used to be a professional Counter-Strike player, and now I just talk about it. So things change. Maybe he can't ever go back to those fragging roots. Maybe he'll always be stuck as a guy that overthinks things.
I think I'm also one of them, Chad.
Nah, it's easy, Harry. I'll teach you how to turn off your brain. Do some meditation. Get headspace in you. Read some books.
I've been reading books, Chad, actually.
Yeah?
That's been good. Me and you have the same book, actually. I've seen you've been reading a bit of Geordie P.
Yeah. I'm reading a couple at the moment. It's hard to keep tabs on everything, but tabs have been caught on Guardian there, as Mertz is going to slay the beast. Take down his counterpart on North and put Molotov down to slow things down even more. So Carrigan going to jump out. He's going to take a lot of damage there. Survives on 2 hit points. Or health points, depends on what part of the world you learnt Counter-Strike in. Definitely an A attack though. 40 seconds left on the clock. They are up close and personal. Oh, Carrigan. So brave on 2 HP. No fear. Able to get that opening onto the A bomb site, but Kirby playing around the edge of the smoke. There's a chance here to spam down Rain. Take damage. Rain not expecting someone to actually be there. Disappears through the smoke. Using that wall to his advantage now. Nico has to get out here, find this frag quickly. It won't be the case as this quickly crumbles and Carrigan, the last man standing. Not a lot he can do on 2 HP. Should scamper away with the AWP. Try and hold on to it for the next round. See if they can make any magic happen. But he might run right into the hands here of Kirby, who's already on the hunt. Is he going to die after the time? Oh, that's a sad place to be. $200. Died after the time. Lost the AWP. Frustrating as hell. That makes me mad.
Yeah, no, you really do hate to see that. That milliseconds makes the difference there for Carrigan. Now, FaZe in a bit of an awkward spot. They're going to go for the eco anyway, and that means Carrigan won't actually have anything to work with in the next round when they do get their bye. But Deeg brought up for Exist and Nico. Molotov over into mid. This time they're actually quite good at managing to get past it. All 4 players do so. Mertz is holding.
Yeah, I'm not sure which Molotov. I know there is a run boost Molotov that you can throw that gets there maybe a little bit quicker. So I haven't actually seen which one they're throwing, but I know there's one that can get there super quick. So speaking of super quick, they're already all the way up long here. That Molotov is going to chunk down a lot of players in FaZe, but Mertz himself getting a couple bullet to the face. Forces him back to a more defensive position, but Cavalry has arrived. Want to poke their heads out. Those Deagles will gladly oblige with a headshot.
Actually, Rain's able to open up. Mertz answering back as best he can. It's him, Uzi and Valdet, to get a leash back on the beast. And North going to be in with their 5th round. They keep it cleanish. You know,
it's 5 in a row, right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
I would love. That's what we need. I think we need a little round counter. Someone counting the beans for us. Do you like beans?
I'm a big fan of loads of different kinds of beans.
Like baked beans?
Yeah, baked beans are
Do you
great.
eat cold baked beans?
No, I can't do that. Do you?
My dad eats cold baked beans on toast.
My girlfriend does it all the time. She swears that it's delicious. I just think it's literally the worst.
There's probably worse things.
I mean, I have no doubt that there's worse things than that, but like, it's definitely up there.
It's not my favorite way to eat beans.
I like kidney beans. How do you feel about them?
Oh yeah, they're not terrible.
I think they can make or break a chili con carne. But I think what can make or break this defense right now from North. That shot from Mertz, that's fantastic. Nico, the trade comes in, he goes down, and AZ going to pick up Carrigan in the meantime.
What? What was he shooting?
Either that was like some celebration or just like mouse falls off the desk. It happens to all of us.
Well, they did mention it when they were doing the analysis stuff that these guys are boot camp. Well, they're not boot camping. They're at an event in Ukraine right now, so they're playing from an unfamiliar environment. So, ever possible that his hand slipped. We've all been there.
Yeah, they're over there for the BetNet. I don't know the name of the full event, but that's basically all I remember. But yeah, I mean, it's an odd one to even see North at, I think.
The only betting sponsor I know is Betway, Harry.
No, me too.
There we go. Now we're cooking. Do you want a bit of an interesting tidbit?
I'm a big fan of interesting tidbits.
VP are playing in the semi-finals of ESEA Season 27 Mountain Dew League Global Challenge. No, wait, that's the finals that they'll go to. Anyway, they're playing in that right now against Windigo. They lost the first map, which was their pick, Mirage 16-5. They won the second map, 16-9 Cobblestone, and now they're going into train as the third.
Okay, that's always interesting. Yeah, well, this round ends. AZ's going to pick them both up, no problem. 3K for him. Yeah, no, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on in the CS scene right now. It doesn't feel like it's entirely the same.
No, I think like a lot of the tweet I made earlier, I don't know if people saw it, but basically I am a, this is going to be a sick shot if he just randomly shoots. Oh, he gets the, okay. That's still really cool, the fact that he even, you know, has the foresight to try and do that. Fantastic stuff from Mertz there. Pause will come out. I believe this is probably a tactical pause on the side of FaZe Clan. I need to talk things over. Anyway, where I was going, we'll just quickly cover the whole thing with Counter-Strike. I think it's important to have champions in a game. That you can look at things like UFC is probably a good example of oh, we missed that. It's quite nice. UFC is a good example of like, you need to kind of have like a champion within divisions. Otherwise, if anyone can win at any given time, there's no narrative. I don't know, people are sitting there going, we just want to watch good Counter-Strike. We don't need storylines. Well, actually, you kind of do need the storyline or the narrative, right? Because if you can build someone up to be like a legend, someone up who shouldn't lose or can't lose or seems to be the best, then it either creates him as like a hero. We're going to go and see like an amazing running Counter-Strike. You know, we're going to see this legendary team. Or they become a villain in a way, right? These guys are always winning. We want to see someone else beat them. And right now in CS, we definitely don't have that. And we haven't had that for some time. But MSL getting aggressive. He's going to push through his own smoke. Gets up to the fountain. Has a teammate to cover off the playground entry or exit. And Kirby to swing wide. And also Mertz, I believe, up close to that orb. He'll find the opening. Kirby should swing any second. But MSL will chime quickly. And this aggressive setup working fantastically from North. There's 3 members from FaZe fall in quick succession. Nice little mix up here from North. Nice aggressive move. I like that. And you notice everyone had everyone else covered. Kirby was there for the late swing. Mertz was covering off his teammate MSL. And MSL was in a position that's awkward to clear. So I like that. I like that a lot. Can FaZe do anything? They will find 1 kill off the back of Exist. Now they're in a 2-on-4 situation. Split up. Other sides of the earth right now.
Yeah, and of course it was Exist who a few rounds ago was so close to pulling off this this big play in a 1-on-2. Now this time it's a 2-on-4. He's got Nico with him to try and do this impossible play. And then grouping up over towards bathrooms. Kirby playing the bait and switch angle. Has Mertz homing down the sights at long. Nico gonna throw this smoke out, and they know there's a man there. Mertz gonna go up and pass the smoke, and that now leaves the pressure on MSL inside the site, and he's gonna be found. Exist goes ahead and decapitates, and that's given them an entry into this site, and Mertz now tries to hold the fort in from long. It's this flank, though, that's going to tear them limb from limb. Valda in with the backstab. Going to go ahead and drive Nico home. That will be North in with their 7th round. And that was very, very good from start to finish from them. It feels like we're seeing a bit of a progression from this CT side.
Yeah, you can see right there from MSL's POV, Guardian didn't even think to check that position based on Mertz's. He basically stands on the green bench, and he can see, or he just stands on the wall so he can see the playground exit. Also, what that meant was, we saw later in the piece as the round unfolded, in the 2-on-4, Nico had to go out and clear the playground. You know, he had to make sure that there was nobody pushed up in those aggressive positions before they could decide where they wanted to go. So it bought a lot of time as well, and there's Mertz hitting shots again. This kid is having a fantastic game this evening. Train, he was putting up some big numbers, hitting some crazy shots with the Deagle, having impact on the gun rounds in the first half, and here on Overpass, doing a good job once more. Nico appears to be enjoying the scout this evening. Had it in that scenario, but wasn't able to get anything done with it. Kirby will finish off Guardian. That's a quick round. All steaming ahead here. I think they will want to be aiming for 10 rounds. I think that's probably a good place to be on the CT side. 10-5 Overpass, that's pretty standard. They lose 8-7, that's horrible. 9-6 is on the fence. It's one of those situations where I sit here and I go, Harry, the pistol round's really important. And everyone at home shakes their head and goes, well, thanks, Captain Obvious.
But, you know, I mean, you're saying that the scoreline right now for North, I think, is more impressive than it would initially look if you looked at 8-5, because these 8 rounds have been consecutively. They haven't dropped one. And, you know, FaZe They won the pistol. They win the 2 anti-eco. Since then, they've only got 2 rifle rounds. Everything else has been the North show. And, well, for FaZe this time, they think maybe they can find some solace in this B-bomb site. They're stacked up outside of it. You also have Nico clearing out connector. Right now, North have a 2-man setup over towards Long. Mertz watching from afar, and then Kirby holding by the bike. And he wants to try and take Rain for a ride if he goes in for this peek out from Long. But that won't be the case. FaZe setting up for B for the time being. 4 players here. 3 for North inside of the site.
It's a very interesting setup they've got going on right here. MSL's obviously playing anti-flash. You can see AZ being the first point of contact. The thing is, they can all swing and help each other. With limited utility left, that's definitely the best way to approach these situations. Molotov comes out to barrel. Isn't able to flush anybody. MSL playing from that position will step out. And the frags, they're all lit up. The CT's grabbing 3 in quick succession. Leaves Rain. I don't know. Just drizzling away. It's a nice shot. He's got some good aim, doesn't he? He's a fragger.
He is. He's a big fragger, but you know, Valdi is not a fan of that. He'll lock in a 9th round for North. They'd be feeling good. The opportunity for them to go 10-5, which you said would have been a good half for them, is looking pretty realistic right about now, given the buy here for FaZe. While they've got one, they're pretty limited in terms of the utility, and they've also got Nico relegated down to a UMP. He's kind of the one man I wouldn't want on that gun.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe you can get some magic done with that. He's just going to go through dungeon or underpass or whatever you want to call it. Misses his Molotov. That's not a place to be, and it was a fast B play. AZ lighting up the scoreboard. He had 2 last round, has 2 in this. It's over before I can even get excited, Harry. Volde finishes off with 2 more assists from AZ. He did a lot of damage early. Now FaZe have found themselves in an interesting position. Only 5 rounds. Now flicking over to that CT side. Now, I know that Yanko definitely would have touched on it. It's going to be interesting to see how this all gets moved around. We still will have Guardian and Rain over towards the A-bomb side, I believe. But now we're going to have Exist and Nico as those B-bomb side defenders, with Carrigan as that linchpin, playing between both bomb sites. Maybe the North opt to pressure the B site. We saw them try to pressure Exist on train towards the inner bomb site in the first best of 1. See if they do the same again here.
Yeah, and I do think that's going to be a problem, perhaps, for FaZe, is how important Olaf was to their B defense on this map. Can Exist step up and fill the void in the meantime? Of course, Guardian also struggling quite a bit right now, bottom of the board for FaZe. Hoping that as he moves into the CT side, as you know, that AWP becomes that much more viable. We kind of see that switch on up, because you can think of so many teams where kind of the AWP is such a staple on someone like Guardian. It is always harder playing on the T side of Overpass.
Yeah, especially if you're being dictated to and you can't really get the economy flowing right. It means you're not going to have that weapon you have so much impact with. But FaZe were kind of playing more of a 4-1 anyway. Early, you could see what they were trying to do: explode onto bomb sites, take advantage of early rotations and utility, etc. Catching off guard, it wasn't to be. And then it gets a bit late and they're not able to do much with it. Looks like North want to head towards B straight away. Mert's going to Molotov the barrels. Flashes will come out. Exist has that early information, but he's caught out of position, and Nico is on fire. He will step out, but the flashes continue, and he will also fall as North completely overwhelm the B bomb site here. Lockout Guardian and Rain as want more, and Mertz is going to find it. Leaving Rain, the man, the myth, the legend, with an impossible task here. And they want the kill. They want to take the fight to him. And they will finish him off. 2 in the round for him, 2 for AZ. 1 for Mertz. A quick pistol round and 11 on the board for North. As FaZe bite back with the instant force buy. Guardian the only one not investing in armor, as that AWP will come into play, hopefully for that first gun round. He's only got the CZ in hand. Carrigan with a smoke. Nico on the Deagle. See if they can make any magic happen with these pistols, as it appears everybody does want to head towards this B-bomb site. They were expecting a quick play, but it wasn't to be. North are posturing over towards the playground area, making sure no one's pushing B. This is the standard default you see on this map time and time again. 3 players towards playground/fountain, 1 player covering the underpass, stairs, dungeon, wherever you're from, whatever you want to call it, push, and 1 monitoring the backyard section of B. Now that they've mitigated any risk early, they will regroup and head towards A long by the looks of things. That's where they can really use the range of those AK-47s. Find them very effective. The only one who can really stand up at this range would be Nico with that deagle. We have seen him pull off magic time and time again. Carrigan's got here just in time to lay down the smoke, forces him to jump through. Will do a lot of damage onto MSL, but his MP7 will reign supreme, and now the bomb site and Nico will fall in the hands of North.
Yeah, they are completely locked out. We're going to try and see Rain spearhead this offensive on him, but no, Mertz picks him up, and just like that, Guardian Exist going to hold on to what they've got. Yeah, taking the armor, the CZ in the next round on the back of Exist. Guardian's going to have that Deeg as well to try and work with. Going to be a 12th round for North there regardless. They keep 5 players alive. They're going to be very happy with that outcome. Starting to accrue some money over here on this T side. And looking to try and close this one out pretty quickly, because the one thing you don't want to do is allow FaZe to start to pick back up any sort of momentum here.
Sure, and one of these things that people don't realize at home, it's hard enough to win an anti-eco at this top level, let alone keep all the players alive, keep all the guns in hand. ZaZy, for some reason, felt it was unnecessary, and the narrative that I was trying to build is unimportant. He just gave away a gun. Well, they weren't able to collect it, but he has to reinvest. He has to reinvest his dollary dues. And as you all know, you want to put as many of them away in the bank so you don't have to worry about money when you get old. You know, you want to invest in your pension. You want to make sure you can retire.
Do you have a pension, Chad?
No, I don't. I'm a terrible example of someone managing their money for the future. So, do as I say, not as I do. That's the excuse I'm going to try and use with my kids anyway.
You say that as though they exist right now.
They could. There is a possibility.
Oof. Well, let's hope.
For everyone's sake, they don't exist.
Yeah, you know, get a couple of, maybe get a few tweets after this game.
Dad?
Yeah, you never know. But 7 rounds to the advantage of North right now. They're feeling good, and you know, with good reason as well. Let's not forget, they're actually on a 12-round win streak right now. They are feeling utterly fantastic. They've taken this round very, very slowly, nice and methodical. They've cleared everything out, but they didn't actually really test the waters over towards A, so they're just going to go in towards B blindly. And they will be walking into the more stacked of these 2 sites. Guardian now rotating around as well. So all 5 players here for either team, and Exist able to find the first, but luckily enough, MSL and Kiev are quick to clean this round up.
Yeah, it looks chaotic in the beginning there, but the thing is, once they make that first kill, they've already also got a lot of space, so they're able to just close down on those kills. It's not like they got completely stuck in a choke point and they get mowed down. It's one guy giving information, you know, potentially making a rough time. This is the space I'm talking about. MSL behind 2 guys, not even looking at him, right? This is kind of the ideal situation for someone with an MP7 wanting to mop up some frags, get some money on the board, and he's going to hold on to that weapon in question into this round. Looks like they want to go straight towards B. Early Molotov over towards Sandbags. Force the push away, but Flush will come out. Nico sees nothing. Information relayed is that it's clear, but the attack is on. Flush has come over, and he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's going to smoke himself off.
Trying to find Nico,
Bloody
but this defense gets just torn apart in a matter of seconds. Suddenly everyone's dead. Just Guardian and Rain left, and they have to save. I mean, 2 versus 5. It's another round where all 5 players survive for North, potentially. I mean, unless any of them go down in the hunt here, but regardless, they're going to be so happy with this. And now they've boosted up 2 as well. Guardian has to be quite quick in getting the hell out of there, or else he does run the risk of going down. So North, they've built up a massive bank behind them, and they're also going to have 14 rounds to their name.
Yeah, it was awfully jarring there. I was expecting, you know, I was going to get to a point and then it was going to be chaos and then everyone would have got headshots, it would have been back and forth, and your play-by-play could have really shined. Instead, everyone just died and left you with nothing. And I was like, I'm sorry, Harry. I'm sorry I did that to you, man.
You know what, Chad? It's fine. You got to sprinkle your nuggets of knowledge all over it. Ooh, that was nice from Guardian.
Yeah, it's just a consolation in that sort of environment. And at this point, if you're FaZe, you have to force buy, right? To drop what you can, you have to buy into this. It's 14-5. You have saved weapons. You have to fight for this right now because of how much of a hole that you're in. And this is where the pace change can come in from North. I might expect something a little bit slower. Maybe the default spread. Maybe see how they want to apply these weapons that they were able to hold on to. It looks like what we're about to see.
North are very much in control right now. Guardian going to be taking a peek over into mid, and he does tag Mertz down. That's a good start here for FaZe. He would have loved to have found the kill, but still that's going to force Mertz to play a bit more conservatively here. You can already see he's gone ahead and left mid, rejoined the rest of the team down here towards B. And North already, they're boxing themselves in quite a bit here by dedicating everyone down towards this B-bomb site. No one keeping an eye on mid, and that gives FaZe a lot of room to maneuver. And there is a man here, that's Rain. He could potentially get all the information in the world, but if he doesn't get it in time, it's going to be useless as North start to make their way in towards B. All 5 players here knocking on their door as exists to open up with one. AZ and Valdi going to answer back, and suddenly Nico has to try and make one hell of a last stand. He's the only bastion of hope for FaZe in that round, and AZ will snuff him out. Guardian and Rain once again. This time, though, they're going to go for it. They're going to start to do damage. Valdi peeks on out, and now it's Guardian. 1-on-2, AWP in hand, no armor, no kit. One flashbang, that's all he's got. He's throwing it out. He's going to start to peek on in, and he does spot Mertz on the jump up. Valdi peeks round, though. It's 3 kills for him, and 15-5 in favor of North.
Well, we did speak about, you know, the potential to exploit exists over towards that B bomb site, and it appears that's where their attacks want to be early. We had the fast round. We've had the anti-ecos ending over that part of the map. We just had that round where they took damage, they showed presence, they forced the FaZe players to play their positions and executed on B. Exist was able to get a kill, but then Karrigan and Exist fall with no other, I guess, wave of defense to stand behind them. Nico did the best he could. He delayed, he gave his teammates a chance, but they were completely locked out by that fantastic executor North. It looks like they're going to take this one 16-5 as Famises and UMPs are the best that FaZe can throw out this final round.
Yeah, this is not the buy you would hope for if you are FaZe. Now, Rain's got aggressive down through long. We haven't really seen this from him, so whether or not North expect this is yet to be seen, but Kyobi looked like he was keeping a tab on it. Exist and Nico starting to aggressive down towards that B-bomb site, but Guardian is the first to fall down in the realms of Connector. Suddenly, man advantage secured by North. And it's Exist who's aggressive over here on short. Caught out in the open. MSL going to be able to find him all day long. Rain falls along, and suddenly it's Karrigan and Nico. 2 versus 5. Nico does get one to keep the dream alive. He's going to fall to Mertz. It's Karrigan, the IGL, the brains behind the whole FaZe operation, has to now be the brawn as he finds himself 1v4.
Done and dusted right here, I think. Karrigan up against it, goes down, and that's all she wrote. She's over and done. Nice quick victory there from North, and the crazy Counter-Strike continues. We see the guys fall at Copenhagen Games, who just now took down FaZe 16-5 on Overpass, which is, you know, in the last 6 months been one of FaZe's best maps. Yeah. So, I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say anymore, Harry. It's chaos. It's chaos in the studio. It's chaos with these Muppets.
Indeed, yes. Wow.
15 rounds in a row. 16 rounds in a row.
Yeah, you love 16. To see it. You do love to see it.
That's the 16
old FaZe.
Technically. Not technically, actually. Quite far from technically.
No. But literally family.
All the same.
Yeah,
right.
we are literally family, though.
We are literally family. And anyway, brother, I'll see you in a bit. That is, of course, Chad and Harry guiding us through that one, and that is that series done and dusted. We did get to see Overpass there secondly, and well, it was cutthroat, Yanko. 16 rounds in a row from North. FaZe just looking lost.
Everything we said in the previous map, redundant.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense if you look at how things actually played out. FaZe, after a strong start in the first half, can't get anything done after that. Guardian with a very, very poor game. But even it's just like, how do things like this even happen?
And of course, AZ's top fragging this one now. And Guardian got the 6 frags. It's all gone Pete Tong. I'm not really sure what's happening.
Do you know what? I think the conversation, the bigger conversation to be had here, while we do kind of watch these highlights and get to see, in fact, himself fragging much better than he did on Train. I think the bigger question is, was Exist the right choice? I mean, we look at FaZe, we realize this is going to be an extended period of time. Bearing in mind, there's a lot of tournaments in the next 2 to 3 months. A lot. Yeah. Like, if you look at the calendar, it's packed. Big opportunities for not only prize money, but prestige. And they know they're not going to be playing with Olof. When we think free agents, who's like springing to mind? I mean, Exist was an option. We kind of talked through the positives to his addition. Sure. But what else? What else was on the shopping list? You know.
I kind of I keep thinking of Swedish players. I forget this is an international roster. Like Freiburg for me was going to come to mind. Like that seems like a sensible one in terms of like Frangtown is kind of filling this role for a couple of months. That would be another name. I guess would be out there in terms of free agents.
You would probably pick Exist over Freiburg.
Would you? Oh. What's the thought process there?
I mean, I would, because it's like he was an in-game leader. You don't know what Freiburg's plans are, but true. For Exist, I guess you would reach out to him before Freiburg, at least in my eyes. I know they tried to get Shocks, but he couldn't commit for as long of a period of time as they needed him to.
Dude, Shoxy would have been fun.
That would have been great. I think it would have actually made them better for that short run, because, you know, Shocks would be motivated, obviously, to play now without a team. He would play more loose. You know, we could see his superstar potential and all of that. So after that, there's not really that free agents, you know, available who have the experience to be able to play on such a high level and keep up with guys like Guardian, Nico, Rain, right, Carrigan as well, in terms of fast-paced decision-making and doing things on the fly, and also having enough skill to just match up with other Tier 1 players. I don't think you want to bring an FPL player into the lineup like FaZe. No, no way.
Because I guess, especially considering that we always talk about how a lot of their gameplay is based on intuition and experience, as in you're doing things without asking. I guess the absence of that would be more prolific.
I think just shortly, the best example is probably when Astralis needed a stand-in in Cologne 2017 or 17, and they got Glaive, and everyone was querying, why Glaive, why not someone who's like a better fragger or something? But it turned out he was a great fit for the team, because you need someone who knows how to play on such a high level. You have enough firepower in FaZe, you need someone who's not going to screw up and make stupid mistakes, and I think in that sense Exist is that type of guy.
I guess you don't realize it, when you think about it, one player can, and I'm sure you guys, when you play with me, have realized this, one player can destabilize a whole team. As in, if the decision-making's wrong, the positioning's wrong, suddenly everything gets a bit more uncomfortable. I guess it's a safe bet, Henry.
You just want a safe pair of hands. Someone who's experienced on the stage, you know they're not going to crumble and that sort of thing. They're going to be calm under pressure. He's been playing for years and years and years. If he did take a bit of a punt on one of these younger players coming from FPL, they've never been on the stage and they've experienced that level of play, and they could have a really rough time. The communication could be off, and Exist, you know, we want to get.
Especially considering you're not going to keep Exist, right? Olofmeister at some point is coming back and is reclaiming his spot on the roster. So what's the point of getting a young and up-and-coming player that you're going to teach, maybe show him the ropes and everything, and he's going to get adjusted to that, and then you let him go, right? That would make more sense if you're willing to give someone time, and then they really mature in your lineup, and then you keep them because you get like great skilled player and also like gains the necessary experience, and that's it. Okay, this is just catch and release.
A bit of fun then, just because you've got some of the juices flowing here. Or if you are FaZe and you're in the boardroom and you realize that Olofmeister has to take some time away, you pick up a young talent, you just throw your FaZe money at someone like Zywoo, someone like Sergey, someone that's turning heads. He stands in and he becomes part of your FaZe Academy that you announce afterwards. He's introduced to that. You've got FaZe Academy where you just spend money on some FPL names. Thank you. I'm here all week.
Like I do, you know. I like that.
Business meeting over.
It's 5.
Business meeting
like,
adjourned.
This like pug masters
just from like random parts of the country. You give them a comfortable salary and they can just see what happens.
Except that you can't really own 2 teams anymore in that sense. Even academy
teams.
Fnatic
doing it?
For now.
Okay.
So yeah, Fnatic is an interesting one, isn't it, with the whole gamers thing. But I feel like it's just also too much work. I don't think FaZe as an org is really interested in like going that deep into Counter-Strike. They just want to have the best team around. They're willing to invest money into that, but you know, other than that, it doesn't really seem like their cup of tea.
That's a good answer, especially considering it's probably not on brand to have a mediocre team with a FaZe name attached. They're all about being the very best, and indeed, not today. They didn't manage to get the full 6 points. We do have more Counter-Strike coming up for you after the break, though. We do get to treat you to Fnatic versus Space Soldiers, so stay with us and we'll be right back.
Incendiary out.